What's going on, everybody? Okay, I started thinking. I've got some comments, and I still get comments on this video. About a year and a half ago, I did a video where I said, does the Tundras mile per gallon suck or not? And I was on my way to Florida, and I did a pump to pump test to see what kind of, mile per gallon I was getting my Tundra, which was something like 14.5 on the interstate. Was not great, but like I said, I run 35, 12, 50, 20s on this truck, and I would imagine that does hurt the mile per gallon. And because I run that tire size though, a lot of you all said, hey, did you recalibrate your speedometer or re-gear the truck or anything like that to compensate for the tire size, because that will throw off your mile per gallon. So what I'm going to do today, and I'll probably do this in my Jeep also because it has a 6-cylinder, and I'm not sure what the gearing is in the Jeep. I've never really looked it up, but it does run 35, 12, 50, 17s on the Jeep. So they have 35s as well, and I'll be curious to see what the difference is in how bad the speedometer is off in this versus how bad the speedometer is off in the Jeep. Now, I'll probably do 2 separate videos on that. I'll do one of the truck because that's what most of you all are going to want to watch. Not as many people watch the Jeep one, but I do want y'all to know there'll be a Jeep one out there as well, probably after this one goes up, because I'm just curious if there's that much difference in the mile per hour difference in the speedometer because of the tire sizes. And like I said, I know you all have asked that as well, so that's what this video is about. What we're going to do is we're going to get this truck out, drive it down the road, and try to get on a straightaway where I can maintain a speed. I may even try to set the cruise control if I can find a place that's open enough where I can do that. That way you all can get a more, steady mile per hour to see if anything is different between the speedometer and GPS. I have a GPS app on my phone that will tell me my mile per hour. So that should be pretty good, and you'll see just how far off this is. Now, I don't want to lie. I have looked at this in the truck. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, but I did check this out a while back just out of curiosity, and then I decided to do a video on it. So what we're going to do is, like I said, get this thing out on the road, and then we'll see just how far off the speedometer is because of the tire size. We'll be right back. Okay, I have everything set up. I'm stopped right now, so I'm not driving. I have everything set up. I have the phone down here. It's got a huge digital readout in the speedometer, and then I've got it sitting right beside the speedometer so you can see the two side by side and tell exactly what the difference is in real time. So let me get the camera turned around. I'll point it out here. We'll start down the road, and you'll see exactly just how far off these tires make my speedometer. Okay, hopefully you can see the speedometer right there. I can't really see it because the GoPro's in the way, but you all should have a very good view of it and be able to tell exactly how far off it is. I won't know. Actually, it doesn't look that far off at all. At 53 mile an hour, 54 mile an hour, 55 mile an hour, we look dead nuts on. So actually, if it's off any, it looks like it might be off about a half mile to the gallon, or maybe a mile and a half to 2 mile per hour at the most. And that's in the 50-55 mile an hour range. Now, as we get faster, that may change, but for right now, we're looking like about a mile and a half, 2 mile per hour. We're gonna slow down right here a little bit. Looking dead on right there, looking about dead nuts on in the upper 40s. Like I said, about when you hit 50, you're about a half mile per hour off. We'll get on up here a little bit. We should be able to tell a little bit faster, hopefully. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to use cruise control because there's a little bit of traffic in front of me. But just looking around it, like I said, we might be a mile and a half to 2 mile per hour off. That's really not bad. When I first did this, I really thought it would be worse than that. I thought it would be off 4 or 5 mile per hour, but it's really not. And I was pleasantly surprised. Now, if I get up to like 70 mile an hour, if I can ever find a spot to do that, you know, we may be off 4 mile per hour or something like that. But let's see if we can get up to, traffic in front of me is not going to allow me. If I can get up to 60, I'll put that on here as well. But right now, it's not looking too good for that. If I turn around and come back, maybe I'll be able to get up to 60 mile an hour. Okay, got turned around. So let's see what we can get up to. So if we get up to 60 mile an hour, it looks like we're about 1 mile per hour off. Let me see here a second. I was looking at it sideways. We're 2 mile per hour off at 60 mile per hour. So 2 mile per hour, in my opinion, really isn't that bad. Like I said, when you're talking about how much bigger a tire I put on this truck, it's really not that bad. And because of traffic, I can't get up to 70 or anything like that. But like I said, at 60 mile an hour, which is what a lot of us are going to be driving at, you're off 2 mile per hour in a Tundra with stock 430 gears, running a 35, 12, 50, 20. That's with a Nitto Terra Grappler G2. I would imagine any 35, 12, 50, 20 is probably going to give you about the same results. Okay, so there it is. 2 mile per hour at 60 mile per hour. To me, that's really not that bad. I don't know how much that would actually, you know, really throw off my mile per gallon. I'm assuming it wouldn't be a crazy amount, but you can do the math if you want to. I'm too tired today to do it. I work pretty hard, but I don't think it would be a considerable amount. I really thought that would throw the speedometer off more than that, run that big a tire, and I'm sure the faster you get, the more it would throw it off. But still, even at like 70 mile per hour, I'm sure you're not going to be off 3 mile per hour, maybe 2 1/4 to 2 1/2. And between 70 and 80 is about where I run on the interstate most of the time. So let's say 3 mile per hour to 3 1/4 at 80 mile an hour. So not a crazy amount. And that's about where I thought it would be at 50 or 60 mile per hour. So that greatly over-met my expectations with that tire size screwing with my speedometer. Let me know in the comments what you all thought. Did you think it would be worse than that? Do you think that would be about par for the course? I'm not going to re-gear the truck, and I'm not going to have the speedometer calibrated for 1.5 miles or 2 miles a gallon, because I take this truck to Florida 2 or 3 times a year. But other than that, it's just really driven around town. And be honest with you, since I've got the Jeep, I don't even drive the truck that much anymore. The Jeep's my daily driver. I may drive this truck once or twice a week at the most. I take the garbage off once a week, which is about a, I don't know, 8 mile round trip. And sometimes I take it to get breakfast on like a Saturday or Sunday. So it's not worth it to me to recalibrate the speedometer, re-gear the truck or anything like that to try to fix it, because I just don't drive it that much. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.